This is, I believe, number 16, which is interesting because I've basically recorded a video every time I've came out here to work on this project. There's been a few times where I've came out here to work on something and I did not film. But it was basically little stupid stuff. The past two videos I've posted, I've said that the plan has changed because I work out here, I record, and then it might be like a day from when I edit the video to when I upload it. So things have changed. But I'll get more into that in a little bit. But right now, I still need to cut out the templates that I made for the metal. I need to cut them out. This is where the A-arm's going to be, or the control arms on each side, so they need to clear before I do anything else. After I do that, then I'll discuss what's changed on my plans for the front end. Almost. There we go. 1, 2. And I now have gussets for other shit. For other parts of the front end. Okay, so what I did with the rails that I got 5 by 3 1/4 inch. I wanted something a little bit skinnier as wall thickness, but they didn't have anything, and I wanted something as close to the Bronco frame as possible. So the Bronco's, I think, 5.5 by 3. So this is 5 by 3, 5 inches by 3 inches. So I went with this. Only thing is 5 inches comes up to like here, so that's why I made this indentation, and I've cut it into both of them. But what I still need to do is I need to cut a little wall out because they still hit the lower part of these still hit, so it's more or less just the arms here. So what I can do is I can go bloop, bloop, like that. So that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do now. Oh, man. All right. That mount back where it needs to be. Alright, let me get the other one done. Well, I've taken my two 5-foot 5 by 3 inch 1/4 inch walled pieces of metal, and I've made room for the upper control arm. They were hitting, like I'd said in a previous clip, and I got this one to fit. But what I'm going to do after I take a little break is I need to cut my welds that I made on this brace to keep everything where it needed to be, and I'm actually going to slide this front a foot, or maybe a little bit more than a foot. So what I was thinking about was the end result of what this truck's gonna look like. And at first, when I braced everything, I was gonna build the truck with the 318 bolting in the stock location as it did on the front end of the LeBaron when the LeBaron was together. And that would make the motor in between the wheels and the radiator and headlights in front of the front wheels. Now, that look, I'm not a big fan of it. It works with some bodies and different years and stuff like that. But I was thinking long and hard about this, and if nobody knows exactly what a Bronco 2 is, I was afraid that I would have this at a car show or somebody would see it and they would think that basically I just took the front fenders, the hood, the bumper, the grille, and everything off the front of a truck and was just running it like that. And I don't want people to think that. I want people to know that I put a lot of time and effort into making this what it is. So by putting that up further, the motor's going to be behind the wheels, so is the radiator, and so are the lights, and it'll give it that look that I want. So I'm happy about that. I mean, right now I'm at a point to where I could go either way, but I'm definitely going to I'm going to go with the longer front end. Plus I would like some room between the wheels and the body, and right now it's basically almost, it's actually is less than a foot from the front firewall to the tire. So if you think about that in perspective, it won't look as drastic as what I'm describing, but it'll still satisfy what I want it to look like. But I've already realized that I'm going to have to unbolt the power steering pump, or the power steering, the power steering. I'm going to have to unbolt that to slide my other piece of metal in. And then I'll show you what I did. I'll take a break from my brake, I guess. So after I get everything bolted, the holes lined up and all, where these pieces are going to mount in this front end, I need to figure out the angle at which this is going to drop. I'm going to have to cut maybe like a pie, and then this piece is going to go down, which is then going to attach to the other side of this rail. And on this side it's going to be like that, and then I got to reinforce everything. But basically, to find that, I know that this front end is going to be level, so level would be 0 on this angle finder that I got. But basically, I'll put this on here. I know this chassis is level because I did all that the other day. But the chassis, the end of it, it kind of goes up, and that's a 15-degree angle. So basically, before I cut this, what I'll do is I'll make sure this is level. Well, I'll probably do the cut, make sure this is level, and then I will bend the part after the cut and bend it until I get that 15-degree angle. Then I'll weld it up and it'll flow nicely with the rest of this frame. But before I do all that, I gotta get this front squared away. I gotta undo that power steering pump, or the power steering. Alright, gonna undo the power steering, and hopefully I can just swing it. I don't want to undo the joint there for the steering. I'm just gonna swing it out and then slide that other piece of metal in there. This is the right size, right? Too big. Let's see, this is 21. I probably need a 20 or a 19. There isn't a 20. It goes right to 19, so it's probably a 19. Got a suspicion. It's most likely a 19. Oh, that's good. As you can see, I have this extension on my wrench, if I can pull it off. Anyway, it's a bicycle seat post. I like to keep it on my wrenches because it's just more leverage. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the welds that I made for this brace, because everything's going that way more. So Gonna undo it there. I'll probably get another piece of this, put it on top of this to extend this whole piece here. So let me do that right now. Harbor Freight has these kick-ass safety goggles for $8. They got vents and stuff like that. The reason I love these is because they go over my glasses. I have no problems wearing glasses with these on. And because I'm wearing glasses, usually when I wear a mask or something else, they tend to fog. If there's any moisture, they'll fog, but these basically breathe on their own. So any moisture, it won't really be a problem. Unless they're saturated with water, they won't be a problem. So-called spot weld. I put a little bit more weld on that than I should have, but I really didn't want anything to go anywhere, so then I thought I made up my mind. I just got this centered again, and I'm going to put the metal on there, see where I need to make my bends, and then I'll brace it once I know that this is where it needs to be, and then I'll go on from there. Meanwhile, I'm going to charge my camera. Go. Sweet. All right. And there's the piece. If I just get it out of there. Alright, hopefully I got it this time. Alright, I like that better. Alright, so I got those pieces cut. I bent where they need to come down, the drop. I just tack welded it. If I notice anything off or whatever when I go to bolt them or whatever, I'll just cut the tack welds. But I'm not going to weld anything yet, but so far so good.